So you've submitted all your documents, your file's gone off to Portugal, and now you're told it's in verification. But what does this actually mean? And how long will it stay there? When will something move? In this video, I'm breaking down the full verification timeline for your Portuguese passport process, so you finally understand what's happening behind the scene and how long each step really takes. Hey, I'm Jason Machado, Director at TIC Global. Recently, I had uploaded a video explaining a full verification process for the Portuguese nationality. And honestly, I didn't expect the kind of response I got. Within days, people were calling and texting me with the same follow-up question. Jason, how long does the whole process take for the verification? That's when I realized I need to make a dedicated video just on the timeline. Because it's just not about what happens, it's about when it happens and how to prepare for it. So let's talk about how long the Portuguese nationality verification process usually takes. So we've broken it down into clear steps so you know exactly what to expect and when. Step 1. Figure out which office will handle your case. This is quick, usually immediate, or takes just a few days. So if you're from Goa, Maharashtra, Daman, Dadra or Nagar Haveli, your process will go to the Portuguese Consulate in Goa. And if you're from anywhere else in India, it goes to the Portuguese Embassy in Delhi. Step 2. Your case goes to CRC in Portugal. Once your documents are submitted, they're sent to CRC in Lisbon. On an average, it takes about 1.5 years for CRC to process and prepare the case. They check all your documents and then forward your case to either Goa or Delhi for local verification. Step 3. Consulate sends the verification request to BMC or the sub-register. After CRC is done reviewing, they send a request to the consulate asking them to verify your Indian birth certificate. The consulate then sends an official letter, usually by diplomatic mail, to the local municipal office like the BMC. This mailing process usually takes a month. Hey everyone, I'm thrilled to share some exciting news. We've launched our brand new website, and that's not all. So we are proud to introduce the Portuguese Passport CSA, an AI-powered chatbot designed specifically to guide you through every process of your Portuguese passport process. Whether you're confused about your eligibility, stuck on your documentation, or just need a quick answer, our chat box is here 24/7 to help simplify your process. It's fast, friendly, and built to give you accurate information, real-time support, without the stress of waiting for replies from your agents. So if you're starting your Portuguese passport journey, head on to our website and let CSA do the heavy lifting. Your path to Portuguese passport just got a whole lot easier and agent-free. Step 4. What happens inside the BMC or municipal office? This is where it can all get unpredictable. Once the request reaches the BMC or relevant municipal offices, they need to verify your birth record. Sometimes they act fast, within a day. Other times, it can take up to 8 months or even longer, especially if the office is unresponsive. In fact, there are cases where letters have gone lost, misrouted, or just sit around unnoticed. Step 5. The BMC issues a dispatch number. So once your birth certificate is verified, the BMC or the municipal office will send it back to the Portuguese consulate or the embassy and immediately issue a dispatch number. This number is super important because it confirms the verification process is completed and the reply has been sent back to the consulate or the embassy. No dispatch number means no confirmation that anything has moved. Step 6. The agent notifies the consulate. So after the dispatch number is received within a month, your agent needs to inform the consulate that the verification is completed. Step 7. Consulate marks the verification has completed. Once the consulate gets the update and checks everything, they'll mark your file as verification concluded on their internal system. They will then inform CRC in turn, and this process can take anywhere between 3 to 4 months. Step 8. CRC does a final review and gives a provisional approval. So after your verification has been marked as completed, CRC does a final review and gives a provisional approval of the birth registration. This step usually takes somewhere between 3 to 4 months. Step 9. The final birth record is printed, Assento di Nascimento. Once your birth is approved, it goes for printing. Now this used to be fast, around 15 days, back in 2023. but now it's taking longer. Expect about 3 to 4 months before it's printed officially. So how long does this whole process take from the time you submit your documents? On an average, anywhere between 2.5 to 3 years. But here's the thing, it can go much faster if you're lucky and everything goes smoothly. In rare cases, it wraps up within a year. In more complicated cases, like with an unresponsive local body or issues with agents, it could take 4 years or sometimes even more. That's why it's so important to stay informed and have someone experienced tracking your case every step of the way. These real-life examples can show how small errors or miscommunications can seriously delay the Portuguese nationality process. Each case highlights why it is important to stay on top of every step and have someone experienced guiding you every step of the way. Case 1. The dispatch letter that was never communicated. In this case, the client's verification was already completed at the BMC office, but no one informed the client. In fact, the client kept visiting the BMC office again and again, trying to get answers, but received no updates. Eventually, after we stepped in to assist the client, we learned that the verification letter had already been sent out 2 months earlier. However, no one had bothered to pass that information along to the client. Once this was discovered, the client requested the BMC for an official dispatch number, which the team in Portugal then informed the Portuguese Consulate, and the process finally moved forward. So this situation shows just how easy it is for important steps to be missed when no one is actively tracking your case. Case 2. The sibling jurisdiction dilemma, Daman versus Vapi. So this case involved 2 siblings, a brother and a sister, who were born just 15 kilometers apart. The brother was born in Daman, which is under the Goa Consulate jurisdiction, whereas the sister was born in Vapi, which falls in Gujarat and is under the Delhi Embassy's jurisdiction. Now, even though they were so close in distance, the outcome of their cases were completely different. So the brother's file, which went to Goa, moved ahead without any problems, whereas the sister's case, which went to Delhi, faced long delays. This example highlights how jurisdiction you fall under, just based on where you were born, can make a huge difference on how quickly or smoothly your case can be processed. Case 3. The dispatch that was sent to the wrong country. One of the most shocking examples of verification that was supposed to go to the Portuguese authorities ended up being sent to the UK authorities by mistake for verification. The client had followed up for months with no progress or any answers. When we stepped in and investigated, the authorities reviewed the email that was sent out and finally acknowledged the problem. The verification documents had been sent to the wrong email domain, ending in .uk, which stands for United Kingdom, instead of .pt, which is Portugal. This case clearly shows how even a small technical error, like an incorrect email address, can lead to months of unnecessary delays. Case 4. Clients attempting self-verification. Trying to save money, a client decided not to use our services for the verification process. The client was advised in advance that the process is complex and not easy to be handled alone. She still chose to do the BMC verification on her own. As expected, she ran into multiple roadblocks and couldn't get through the steps on her own. The client ended up confused, stressed, and overwhelmed by the lack of proper response and structure at the BMC office. This case is a good example of how important professional help is, especially when you're dealing with unclear bureaucratic systems. Case 5. Lost in the BMC system, the requests that disappeared. In another situation, a client's verification had been sent to the BMC office in Mumbai in around December 2020. But when the client followed up at the BMC office, they insisted they had no record of it. Despite checking repeatedly, neither the client nor his previous agent got any update on the case. Finally, by May 25, we took over the case, sent a fresh request to the BMC office. The new request was accepted and the BMC completed the verification in the next 3 to 4 months. It turned out that maybe the request had most likely been lost or never properly received. This story underlines how critical it is to track your case actively and follow up regularly with the consulate to make sure things don't go off track without you knowing. If you're serious about securing your Portuguese passport the right way, and you are still watching this video till now, I'm guessing you're also stuck in this maze of verification. You could reach out to our team and we'll surely help you with no guesswork and no delays. Just complete transparency. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.